Good morning, Carmen. Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started in just 1 minute. You will need to have your outline open as well as any other materials that you might have or might need to work on your outline. Good morning, Elizabeth. All right, it's 9 o'clock. Good morning, everyone. I hope that you took some time yesterday to take care of yourself in whatever capacity that means. And now we're ready to get some work done. So today, the purpose for today's meet is to work on and get feedback on your outline, which means what you will need is to have your outline open and any other documents that you need. So when you have your outline open, please write, yep, exactly, Carter, thank you, your essay planner, that's what I called it, right? I will use that, essay planner open, please write ready in the chat. Awesome, Asayas and Abdul are already ready to go. Carter, Kazi, Carmen, thank you, thank you. For those of you just coming in, today we are actively working on our outline or our essay planner. This is the material. You will need your planner open. You will need your planner open. Getting a little tongue-tied. The essay planner, Nate. And then any other materials you may need. So when you have your essay planner out, please write ready in the chat. Carter, I got you, thank you. Awesome, thank you, Sadia. Yes, Nate, it was assigned several days ago. It was assigned on 5/29. Awesome, wonderful, wonderful. So for all of you who are already ready to go, I want you to start working. If you want me, so here's how today's gonna work. So 1, you work on your essay planner. 2, ask me questions as you have them. 3, I can and will look at planners and give feedback. And 4, I can model with my example as needed. Okay, so here is how today is going to work. First and foremost, you are going to have time to work on your essay planner right here, right now. 2, you're going to have the opportunity to ask me any questions that you have regarding your essay planner and outlining this. So Nate, give me just 1 second, please. 3, I can and will look at your planner and give you feedback right in your document. And 4, I will model things as we need them. So Abdul, right off the bat, thank you very much. So he asked, thank you, Jaylene, for supporting Nate. Nate, I don't think that I can. Nate, let me see if I can send you yours. Nate. So Nate, you have commented on this previously. Did you find it? You turned it in. Do you want me to return it to you? Here, I'll return it to you. There you go, Nate. So I've got Abdul and Shailin as people that I am touching base with first. If you want me to look at your outline so far, or if you need help, you should ask now so that I can have a priority list. So the model should have, so if you look in M. Hurley Essay Planner, the counterclaim is the third paragraph. Okay, so I've got a couple questions. So I'm gonna write down, sorry, I'm getting a sticky note. Love me some sticky notes. So I'm gonna write down, Abdul wants a look over. Shailin, do you just need to get work done or do you need help with something? Sal, you need, okay, so Abdul, you're good now. Carter, what do you need? You weren't specific enough. Anna, help with the hook. Liani, I see that you've texted me. Give me a second, okay? Sadia, can you be more specific with what you need help on? ISIS review. Asias review. Desiree, okay. Carter, evidence, sentence starters, and some of my reasoning. Okay. Desiree, help starting. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so I'll get my next group of people. So Abdul, Asias, and Isis, I will look at yours as soon as I give a little bit of starting advice to people. So Anna, when you're thinking about your hook, so hook, how to write a strong hook, right? One, it needs to be interesting, right? So the whole purpose of a hook is to hook or interest the reader. So it needs to be interesting. Two, it needs to relate to your essay topic. And then three, you've got some options that people tend to use. It can be a famous quote, a question, or an anecdote, which is a quick story. Anna, does that answer your question or help? Wonderful. Okay. Anna, check. Great. So Carter, for quote sandwiches, which it sounds like is what you're struggling with, right? Quote sandwiches. Sadia, I see that you've texted me. You got to give me just a second, okay? So quote sandwiches. So the first thing is introduce the quote, right? How you do this is write a sentence explaining what's happening in the text before the quote. Okay, so for example, let me click into my text, Pygmalion, and I'm going to take something from the very first thing. So if I want to quote, so if I want to quote this from Eliza, so here's my quote. If this is the quote that I want to use for Eliza, one, really hard to understand without any context, right? So my introduction sentence might look like, in Act 1 of Pygmalion, readers are introduced to a flower girl who speaks Cockney. Right? That's all we need. And then you can say, an example of how she sounds is, right, comma, and then quote. Right? And then you could analyze it by saying, this quote illustrates or shows how difficult it was to understand Cockney, and therefore how people may have judged the flower girl for speaking this way. Carter, does that answer your question? Oh, the answer. Yes, exactly, Carter. Good. Yep, exactly. So Carter, are we good? Awesome. Okay. Desiree, when you're starting, start by writing your claim, which means that, one, answer the question, take a side, right? Which means that answering the question, do you think Eliza is changed on the inside or just the outside? That is the thing you have to take a side on. Does that make more sense, Desiree? Okay, so once you answer that, then you will write your paragraph, what do we call them in the essay planner? Topic sentence. Which the topic sentences are your big ideas that support your thesis. So if you look on my example, which here I can, oh, I see a bunch of you are on this. This is awesome. I love it. Okay. So if you copy, I'm going to copy the link and put it in here. This is my example. I have written my claim and then my 2 topic sentences. Use that to maybe help you, Desiree. I can look over it as soon as I answer some more questions. Okay. Let me go back and make sure I didn't miss people. So Salu with gathering evidence. Salu gathering evidence. So Carmen wants feedback. So I want to be honest here. Realistically, I will need to give probably feedback when you're in social studies, but I'm writing down everyone who needs feedback so that I make sure I don't forget. So you can ask specific questions. You can keep working on yours right now, but the chance that I will have time to give specific and detailed feedback on all of yours that are asking is slim. I just want to warn you. Carmen and Shailyn. Feedback. So Kwame, feedback on intro. Shailyn, topic, sentence, and counterclaim. Chelsea, did my explanation of the hook to Anna help you? Chelsea, can you ask a more specific question so I can answer it? Oh, that's great, Anna. So a thesis equals you answering the prompt. It's the purpose of you writing this whole essay. Does that make sense, Anna? Oh, Chelsea, I don't know what would be interesting to say. Okay, Chelsea, can you put your thesis in here and then we can maybe brainstorm? Glenda, why did you write Sam? Is that for me? Oh, okay, Glenda. I was just double checking. So,
Miss Hurley?
Yes, love. Who's talking?
I need help with the counterclaim.
Oh, Brianna. Okay. Okay. So counterclaim is something that I've got on my list. Can I talk about gathering evidence first?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So in terms of gathering evidence, Chelsea, here. Oh, hold on. Insert header. Here you go. Chelsea, in the future, please look at the things when we've had it for 3 days. Jeez Louise. Okay. So it's okay, Chels. Just get your thesis done so I can give you some feedback. So Abdul, evidence does not have to be from Act 1 and Act 5. For many of you, evidence will make the most sense coming from Act 1 and Act 5. So when selecting evidence, first, think about the parts. That's totally fine, Desiree, as long as it makes sense for your claim. Think about the parts of the play you want that would support your thesis. So we spent weeks and weeks reading this play. You should have parts of the play in your brain that will support your claim. Then what you'll do is gloss over or skim that part of the play and pull several pieces of evidence. Then step 3 is rank those pieces of evidence from strongest to weakest. And then use the strong one. Right? So the reason why I want you to pull several pieces of evidence is because often the first one we pull is not the best one. And so by pulling several pieces of evidence and going, okay, which one supports my claim or thesis the best? Does this answer your question, Sauyu? Okay. Now, Brianna and Shailin, we're talking about counterclaim. So what is a counterclaim? Right? One, it is the other side of the argument. Right? The other side of the argument. So how to write a strong counterclaim is 1, figure out what the other side would say if they were writing an essay. And then 2, think about why they are wrong. Find evidence to support why they are wrong. So I'm going to use an example for this. So I'm going to, if you are in my essay planner, this is where I'm going to write my example, and we've got 9 minutes, so I want to make sure I'm doing this well. So especially Brianna and Shailin, but anyone else who's struggling with counterclaim, make sure you're in my essay planner. So we're going to go down to this 3rd paragraph, or this 4th paragraph. So it goes introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, and then counterclaim. So first I need to think about, my claim was in Act 1, readers are introduced to Eliza Doolittle as the flower girl. She's meek, timid, and scared. By Act 5, Eliza has become more confident and sure of herself. So in my counterclaim, I have to think, what would someone who disagrees with me say? Right? So they might say, Eliza started as, Eliza has always been an independent woman. Okay? So that would be the counterclaim, right? So now, if you notice, I only require 1 piece of evidence. However, personally, I think that a counterclaim is much stronger when 2 pieces of evidence is used. So I will model what I think the strongest counterclaim looks like. So first I got to find my evidence. So I'm going to use 2 pieces of evidence here. I'm going to use, so I should be in Act 1 to find my evidence. So I have to think about what evidence, thinking, question, what evidence would someone who thinks Eliza is independent from the beginning use, right? So let's see, what would make her independent? So I would say, so I would use this piece of evidence from page 4, right? Actually, undo. There we go. So this is from page 4, right? This is evidence that supports Eliza being independent, right? And then I want to find evidence that proves she wasn't, proves my claim, right? So this is where I go and I find this one. Right? And if you notice, so now what I have to do is I need to think about how to analyze both of them, right? So, and the analysis can really sort of flow together. And this is going to be a little clunky, so know that this is my rough draft. But, so I might say something like, although Eliza may appear confident because she is selling flowers and therefore supporting herself financially, her fear around people watching her shows that she lacks confidence around regarding her own actions and how people will perceive them. So my evidence takes the evidence that they thought was strong to support the other claim and shows why it's not good. So for Shailyn, for Brianna, is this helpful? Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. Okay. So are there any other specific things that I can touch on in 3 minutes, because that's all we have left? Is there any other last minute questions that people need answered before they are working on their essay planner? So to be clear, the essay planner is due today. Essay Anna, I see you. So, and this answers Liani's question as well. How do you start? You always start with your claim and your topic sentences. When you're writing your topic sentences, so how to write strong topic sentences, right? One, you need to think about how you want to support your claim, right? Then you need to, and this goes into big bucket ideas. So should be big ideas. So if you look at my example and the essay planner, you'll notice my topic sentence for body paragraph 1 is Eliza as a flower girl worries about how she interacts with characters in Act 1, right? So it shows how she was at the beginning. And then body paragraph 2 says after the bet is over, Eliza is comfortable confronting Higgins in regard to how he treated her. That shows how she is at the end. So for most of us, topic sentences will show 1, how she is at the beginning, and 2, how she is at the end. Anna, does that help? Wonderful. ELA and science today, Sam. So Liz Mary, you're asking Kazi, I see you. So it's 9:29. If you don't have a question, then you should be going to social studies. Kazi, I want to give you feedback before you leave, and Liz Mary, I want to answer your question. So Liz Mary asked, what does the claim question really mean? So it's asking you to choose one, right? Eliza changed on the inside and the outside, or Eliza only changed on the outside. Liz Mary, does that answer your question? Yes, Adrian, you can give me feedback. You can ask for feedback later. I have extra help today, so please make sure if you need help that you get there. Place something in my. So Kazi, what is this that I'm reading? What part of your text? So yes, I think as the first two parts, I think that that falls under the brief background. So Kazi, that is a strong brief background. You still need a hook and you still need your claim. So Byron, you introduced the evidence.
And Kazi,
by
you need better jokes because you don't have good jokes either.
Mr. McCabe, so not productive.
That's mean, Mr. McCabe.
You're right, Desiree, but his jokes aren't good.
Okay, but let's be nice on these times. Let's think of rainbows, you know? Don't attack children. Come on.
Okay.
It's a good morning. It's a good morning.
Good morning to you too, Desiree. I'm so glad you're here.
See, there we go. Good
Desiree,
mornings.
You don't make fun of me for going bald. You don't make fun of me for all the things that Kazi does. I'm truly.
What? No.
So, okay, you two need to stop for a second. I need to help Byron. So
Okay.
Byron,
Kazi, good morning.
did me saying give context help? Or do you need help with what that means? Bye, Kazi. Okay, Byron, if you need additional help or you want me to look over that, please reach out. You can email me, you can come to Extra Help, okay? Okay, sounds good.
Wait, be still my heart. Does that big K say Kiera Alexa Soriano?